When you have hair loss, it can be such a scary and deceivingly lonely place. But you know what? You're not alone. You are here with me. Welcome to the Alternative Hair Alchemist podcast. Hi, I'm Deborah Heim. I am a certified alternative hair specialist, a wig boutique owner, and wig wearer myself due to alopecia. And this is my Tell It Like It Is take on all things alternative hair. I also happen to be a certified confidence coach, so I'm going to be sprinkling in some mindset hacks for good measure. So take a deep breath, sit back and relax, and listen to my favorite ways and my best advice on how I help others and help myself to rock that alternative hair. We're going to drop that shame and stigma. What is that about anyway? Now, let's do this. Everyone, hello, and welcome to episode 98 of the Alternative Hair Alchemist. This is Deborah Heim. You can find me online at Deborah Heim on Instagram, Deborah Heim on Facebook, and also Very Best Little Hair House. And I love to hear from people. And any questions that you have that you'd like to hear discussed on a podcast episode, send them my way. And today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about questions that I've received in the shop and that probably a lot of people are discussing. And that is the fact that the new drugs for weight loss, they're actually technically diabetes medications, but now they are being given, of course, prescribed for people because of that weight loss side effect. Anytime that there is a new med on the market, anytime there's anything going on with health, there will be somebody that notices changes in their hair texture and growth and want to know if it's related to that. Anything that affects your health is going to affect your hair as well. I've heard it said that your hair is like a report card for your body's state of health. By looking at the hair, anytime that you have something that it's affecting your health, not just a new medication going on, you're liable to see changes in that. Now, for the most part, it's possible that it's temporary changes, but I can tell you for a fact, because I see it every day, that hair loss or hair thinning causes women a lot of heartache. And I get so many questions about what is causing the hair loss. So I'm going to talk about what I have seen and what I think as someone that's worked as a nurse for some decades with people of all kinds of health types and conditions going on. That way, I'm going to give you information that I have seen, because when you go online to research anything, you've got to be really careful because you'll find an opinion of all kinds out there. This reminds me of when COVID started to be related to hair loss, or the questions came up. Let's talk about Ozempic and Wegovy. Those are drugs that aim to control diabetes, but it was discovered that some people noticed weight loss going on. So then they got on that, and now they are now prescribing it for weight loss. They are versions of the drug semaglutide, which was initially developed to manage type 2 diabetes, but now it is widely accepted and very many good reviews about using it for weight loss. Some people have reported losing tons of weight. And here's the thing, if you think about it, anytime you lose a lot of weight, it almost always affects your hair. It's just one of those things. Your nutrition is huge for how your hair texture and growth comes along. Keep in mind, though, that not always is that the only cause, because I also get clients asking, they're taking this supplement, that supplement, and they don't see the results. Keep in mind that the supplements can take a lot of time, but also just the stress itself of constantly checking your hair isn't good for hair growth either. There is a type of temporary hair loss that I talked about on a previous podcast episode. For it is telogen effluvium. It can be triggered by major physical or emotional stress. Sometimes that rapid diet weight loss, it will send your hair into a state where it just starts to rest. And then what happens is it's noticeable shedding. And sometimes this can happen seasonally too. But you would know for sure. The good news is if it's getting to the point that you need to do something about it, my goodness, I would hope by now that you know that there is something that will help you to feel really good about yourself while your hair grows back. The best time to look into what alternative hair might be right for you is sooner rather than later. I have a great many clients that come very early in hair loss, and when they see that it's an easy fix, and they know that there's going to be something if and when they're ready to pull the plug or get it down from the closet shelf and wear it out for the first time, that they're ready. I also advise that for chemo too, because many chemo nurses and doctors will tell their patients it might not happen to you. And while that is true, while I hope for the best, I also like to be prepared. So even if you're having temporary hair loss or hair loss because of rapid weight loss, you can find something that's going to make you feel real good about yourself. Some of the toppers are extremely natural looking. And I have personally found that when I quit worrying so much about whether I lost hair or not that day, that I started to go out and enjoy my life, learned how to start putting myself first and learning skills to help me manage my stress and emotions, like EFT tapping, and also learning how to simply think of things in a different way. When you can train yourself to think about situations like hair loss, like self-acceptance, a different way, your brain will develop new pathways of thoughts. Some of the thoughts that we go to when we're upset are there because that pathway is the easiest one for them to choose. Now, this is a lot of theory in a nutshell. But let me tell you, you can learn to think differently. Learning how to accept yourself exactly as you are. I am telling you, I see such beautiful women that don't see it in themselves. And I am here to tell you that the things you think might be your flaws are actually your superpowers. If you give me an hour, I will convince you of that. Why is it that two of the most common challenges women have, hair thinning and wanting to lose weight, are attached with so much shame? That is what we should be talking about, not whether or not Ozempic or Wegovy actually causes hair loss. Where along the way, we are developing the belief that we are less deserving or less beautiful because of this or that. And nothing about your hair or nothing about the number on the scale says anything about your self-worth. To further elaborate on that, let me talk about one of the most feared things ever. And that would be the situation where someone said to you, "Is that a wig?" Let's say that happened. Let's say somebody came up to you that knew you and you went from no hair to flowing blonde, beautiful shoulder length hair. And they said, "Did you get a wig?" What does that mean about you? Think about it. Nothing. So you had hair loss and you did something about it, and someone asked you if you did that. If you look at it like that, does it not make a difference to you? Because just think about the question, is that a wig? Makes you feel any better? I'm of an age where I remember women used to feel they had to hide the fact that they colored their hair. That's right. I am old enough to remember that roots meant some place that you might get insulted or something because, oh, she dyes her hair. Think about that though. What does that mean? Years. And nowadays, everybody does their hair a different color almost every week. Back to, is Ozempic causing hair loss? The answer to that is possibly, but more probable as a cause would be the fact that you're on a crash diet or you're making major changes to your body in a short amount of time. That is going to possibly shock your hair and put it into that temporary state. And also, to summarize, if that does happen, again, so what? There's something that you can do about it. And I am by no means making hair loss anything light. I don't think that unless you face it yourself, you have any idea of the grief that you can go through. But I am here to tell you that if you think about it just a little bit more, if you look at it through another frame of reference, it is something that can be a good change in your life. Because I have clients now, one of the common things I hear is, I'm ready for work so much faster. The time they used to invest in doing their hair, they now can, do for something a lot more fun. Because you know what? With alternative hair, you're going to look great in 5 minutes or less. Hopefully this has helped you. Again, with weight loss or any type of statistics, take what you read with a grain of salt. Until next time, peace, love, and alternative hair. If you enjoyed this episode, you might like working with me one-on-one even better. You can check out the options at deborahheim.com. You can find my shop at verybestlittlehairhouse.com. And don't forget my Wise Wig advice and support group, also on Facebook. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, peace, love, and alternative hair.